Hey there folks, how you doing today? Your favorite black man Chris Brown's back for some more anime goodness. This episode of Anime Binge is a little bit different because I'm going to talk about a series we've actually talked about on 8-Star Anime. And it's actually Monster Musume, Everyday Life of Monster Girls. However, I'm not actually going to talk about the full series itself, considering we've already done it on the show once before. Actually, we're going to talk about this little bad boy right here. That is the collector's edition of the Blu-ray DVD box. And it has things in it that aren't actually part of the 12-episode series that you can see on Crunchyroll and thereof. It has 2 OVA episodes plus a bunch of little shorts that I'm actually going to talk about on here, as well as the contents of said box. And what it comes with for this big reveal that they've decided to have from Sentai Films. Realistically, I would show you more contents of said box, except for I try to keep this show semi-age appropriate, so the box itself can't really be shown. However, everything else can. Starting with basically your set of DVDs and their sorts of. They give you pretty much everything you can from your DVD side of things. They also give you one set of the Blu-rays. All of these, by the way, have reversible covers. So, there's 3 DVD cases in here. Each of them has at least 2 of the girls on reversible sides of covers. So I thought that was kind of cool. They also give you a soundtrack of the music that you'll hear in this series, as well as music done by the different characters from the show, which I thought was, kind of out there and didn't expect that at all. They also give you a bunch of small posters, also will not be revealing for obvious reasons. That comes with a little mini manga series that has a little bit of story between each of the different girls in the series, as well as a little extras box. These are different depending on your luck of the draw, each with 2 of the ladies. Also comes inside with a little poster, the cover of the series. If you actually did not get the collector's box, this is actually the cover of the DVD Blu-ray cover for the regular non-collector's edition, which I thought was kind of cool. And one of the things they added in here, before we get to the series itself, was something they do at the end of every episode that I'm not sure if we've mentioned before, but I'm going to mention now. These are the cards of each of the different types of monster girls that are predominant in the series. At the end of every episode, they kind of give you a quick, 5-10 second blurb of what you saw in that episode and different other subspecies of the same thing. There's a bunch of them in here, which I think is really kind of cool. Your Lamias, Harpy, your Centaurs, Slimes, your Mermaids, Arachnids, Mono Eyes, El Zombie, Ogres, and this one's a little bit different. This one's got, Doppelganger as well as your Dragon Newts. You also have your Doulahan along mixed in with your Dryads or plant-type monsters. And then, of course, your Devils and the Kobolds. These are all characters that you've seen at some point in the series. They just take time to get to them from episode to episode. So it amuses me that they decided to put your data cards from the end of the episode and make them an actual thing. So I was like, oh, that'd be kind of neat to share with everybody what comes in the good old collector's box for this series. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this series, I can give you a quick synopsis for it. Uh, this is no, this is regular, everyday, modern Japan if you want to look at it that way, except for uh, you know these demi-humans or these extra species characters do exist. Lamias, centaurs of their sorts. And instead of them being separate and, things going awry because, they have to do their thing to survive, this their thing to do what they're doing, they decide to integrate them into one world. That way it's like, okay, we're going to do an exchange program so you guys understand our society, we can learn your society without too much problem. Well, unfortunately, our coordinator for finding host families for these monster girls screws up and brings Mia, who's a Lamia, to our main character, who escapes me, by the way, but I'll get to that in just a moment. And from then on, it's kind of game on, because now it's, oh no, well, I guess we'll go ahead and make this work, but this is not what I expected from my life, but hey. Soon after, our main character finds out he's got to host more than one of these girls. Slowly building up, he gains Poppet Harpy, Santeria the Centaur, and Mero the Mermaid. Sue shows up, the Slime. We have Arachne the Arachne. And then eventually Lala the Duahan end up joining the household. And as you can tell, there's a lot of things that ensue in this. This series is adult-oriented. It is TVMA for a lot of suggestive dialogue, nudity thereof, which is why most of the stuff here I'm not really revealing, as I try to keep this age appropriate for everyone who wants to know about it. Now, we get to our two OVAs. These are two storylines that actually are within the manga storyline, but actually do not appear in the regular 12-episode series. And the first episode starts off with our ladies going in to get weighed in, make sure they're physically in tip-top shape, make sure there's no abnormalities, make sure they're not sick, and all that kind of stuff, so they get checked up on. They go in and realize, we may have packed on a few pounds. We're not getting as much exercise as we used to back at home, so what are we going to do? They find out there's a gym specifically made for the extra species characters. And in doing so, they decide to go in, go to the gym, get a workout in, and maybe get back in shape. Well, we meet a character, not necessarily for the first time in the series, because she does show up multiple times in the series just running around jogging. Her name is Bolt. She's a Kobold character, and she's really sportsy, loves to hit the gym, loves to work out. That's just what she is. And she opens up this gym for these ladies so that way they can figure out a way to get exercise when obviously they can't go out on their own to do, morning routines and whatnot without their host family. And throughout the series, this is kind of an interesting episode because in the actual series, it's just the ladies going in and working out, having the competition and whatnot. But this one, they decided to add in all the characters that have been introduced in the series. Mainly because, for comedy purposes, obviously. Some of it unnecessary. But for the most part, you still get the same as you did in the chapter from the manga. They're going through and attempting to feel out the gym, and Polt's pretty much going, okay, this works, this doesn't work, this works, this doesn't work. And of course, there's gotta be competition for Darling-kun. And Mia and Mero feel like they need a competition to see who can, gain favor of Darling-kun. And decide to have a swimming competition. Well, Santeria is in it too, but she's meh, whatever. It is what it is. The race starts off. And as the race goes, it doesn't quite end very well. Meryl can't swim very well because, well, the water's full of chlorine. Not something she can just breathe and swim in very well. So she ends up slowing down, almost passing out herself. Mia, unfortunately, since she's cold-blooded, the water's not very warm, so she slows down and almost like, I can't go anywhere. And so by the time they, force themselves to get to the end, Donovan's sitting there waiting, picks him out of the water and smacks him in the head and says, "You guys' competition was stupid. Y'all could have gotten seriously hurt. Y'all need to stop being dumb." They're like, "But what about the competition?" "Oh, yeah, Santaré already won that, so yeah, she's the winner." Turns out they're all being for nothing in the end. And of course they come back, get weighed up again. They're like, "Yeah, we're back in tip-top shape again. We can do this again." And so it's one of those little funny episodes where it's something needs to be solved. It's getting solved, but over the top BS. It is what it is. The next episode next OVA I thought was very more accurate to the manga a bit more. This one actually deals with Arachne. She, as we've told you before, she's from a different host family who sold her away because of an accident that happened in the host family and her original host family. They get a bit of mail, and it says that the original host family would like her to come back home. She doesn't know what to do, but feels like this is probably going to be something that's going to happen. Now, at this point, our Darling-kun is not home. He's out shopping, doing some other stuff at the time. And one of the members from the original host family named Ren shows up. She's, I believe, a middle school girl who is really wanting Arachne to come back. She knows that what happened was an accident, and she wants to give the host family a second chance. So, upon going through this episode, she meets each of the different girls and feels like, I'm ready for anything. I can handle anything these monster girls can do. Whatever. I'm ready. And so each one of them kind of goes through a bit of a trial. Mero makes her put on, this Gothel outfit for no reason. She has to get used to Sue and the way she does her whole slime thing, and the way you have to make sure you stay away from being wet. She feels like she has to feel chivalrous around Soraya and a bunch of other stuff. She makes everything into a trial, which turned out to be the wrong thing to do. So by the time Darling-kun gets home and Arachne is ready to pack her bags and go, he's handing drinks to everybody. He's got food in his hand. He's like, "All right, you ordered this, here's this." And he looks at Ren and says, "No, you're not getting Arachne back." And they're like, "What?" She's like, "What?" It's like, you're turning these girls into a trial, like you're trying to, gain something out of it. Like you're trying to prove you're worthy of something, but that's not what this is. It's supposed to be them learning our society, us learning their society, and us coming together to be one big happy family. It's not something you have to overcome. It's just something you just naturally deal with. So no, I don't think she needs to go back with y'all. I think she's fine where she's at. And that's the episode. To be honest, I was really shocked that they even decided to do that episode of all things, but it makes sense considering that was kind of a pivotal point, considering Arachne did have a host family before she met him. So, it's good that they kind of mentioned it, let it go through, and got an idea of where that sits. Now, as for the little shorts that come in here, there's like 12 of them, and they're really, really short, and they're all like point of view, where each of the girls has like a camera, somewhere in the room, and some of them know that the camera's there, some of them don't. And it's pretty much like this one-on-one thing of what they're doing during certain episodes throughout the 12-episode series. Like, while they're not in the big scene, this is what they've been doing, and a lot of times it's a lot of stupid, quirky stuff. Nothing over the top, just a lot of them doing them. Very character developy, where you're kind of seeing what they would go through if they weren't going through what they're doing in the episodes. I do like that, and I thought that was really cool. And so this whole box set, I thought was nice. Sentai Films did a really good job of dubbing the characters very nicely. Because this is the first time that we actually would see this series in English is through Sentai Films. Because almost everyone else has it in sub form. So I think it's really great that they did a fantastic job in dubbing. The extra episodes were great. All the extras that come in the box were kind of cool. And I really think it's a great series. I get... I laugh at Dave because Dave likes to be like, what is with you and get the pleasure animes? I said, have you met me? So, ladies and gentlemen, I know this has been a short episode, but I thought I would like to let you know that Monster Musume is a really great series overall. It is very nicely done for what you're getting out of it, and obviously, if you know what you're getting into, you know what to expect. It is what it is. So, without further ado, make sure you check out everything else here on Geek Carolina. Check out, everything else, Denzi Cast, Rage Crit Radio, all the other great shows that we have on here. I'm sure we'd all appreciate it. If you liked today's episode, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Let us know why. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is 8-Star Binge. We'll see you around.